Welcome to Supes On, a podcast where we take a look at the super family in all forms of media. I'm your host, Jeremy Bruner, amateur Superman expert, and joining me is my co-host, John McBride.
Fellow amateur Superman and Supergirl expert.
That's right, and today we're taking a look at episode 2 of Supergirl from season 2, Children of Krypton. So join us as we talk about Metallo, Snapper, Cat, and what else, John?
Oh, the promise of Dean Cain keeping us together.
That's right. So sit back, relax, and enjoy.
Okay, here it is, Supes On podcast, where we're going to review episode 2 of season 2 of Supergirl on the CW. And you can catch all of our episodes on supesonpodcast.com.
That's right. So, John, what did you think? What's your general opinion? This is about 5 minutes after the episode aired.
Yeah, this is what they call an insta-take by some people. And I thought it was a really solid episode. There is a small portion of it I had to miss because I had to attend to some other things. And I'm going to piece together what I missed right now. Martian Manhunter and Superman were always friends. They never had a beef. And Calista Flockhart is staying forever. I believe that's what I missed.
Some big dreams and some big disappointments coming your way.
Oh, darn.
So why don't we start with, this episode? It starts off with one of the best scenes of the series.
Yeah, and this second season is continuing to give us exactly what we want. Like our dear hearts just want very simple things. I feel like we've been denied for years.
Yes.
And they just give us like, oh yeah, there's a fire. You know what power we're going to use?
Freeze breath.
Freeze breath. 2 episodes in a row. I mean, we already knew Kara was hip and smart to the freeze breath.
Yeah.
But Clark is just coming in and say, yeah, do the freeze breath. Of course.
Yeah, it's like, you know what? No, it's your turn to look cool. He even admits it's cool, because it is.
The coolest power. He's like, you get to do it this time, Kara.
And then we just have this great montage of Kara and Cal just stopping crime together.
Yeah, and it made it so fun. And it's fun, but it comes at a small price. And what that price is, it's kind of continuing on the fears I had from last week in the season premiere, that Superman's going to be a little too damn cool. Like, I just want to see Superman in every episode now.
Well, I just want to see, I wish that opening scene, instead of it being like 3 minutes, I wish it had been like 30. I wish the first 30 minutes had just been Kara and Cal stopping crime together, having hashtag too much fun.
Yeah, because it was fun to watch them like fight crimes.
Yes.
And just having fun while doing it. And I'm like, this is what I want super people to be.
And John, you were live tweeting a little bit during this episode. Please tell me you used hashtag too much fun at least
Damn
once.
it, missed opportunity. But we got some Twitter love, though.
Oh, that's good, good.
We were doing some live tweeting at Supes On Podcast on Twitter and Instagram.
I do have to say, I loved that just opening scene. It was just so fun. It was just, I just wish I wish we had that every episode. I wish we had at least 2 to 3 minutes that were that fun every episode.
I don't see why not. Like, is Tyler Hoechlin, is he too expensive?
I think the reason he's leaving is because, like you said, if you have him all the time,
it's Superman and his cousin What's-Her-Face.
Yeah, and this is Supergirl. And they do a really good job at definitely he doesn't overshadow in this.
No.
But at the same time, he is really freaking cool as, and once again, Wynn was the audience for this.
Yeah.
Just like, oh, this is so awesome.
Yeah, Jeremy Jordan is all of us watching Supergirl.
Yes.
Specifically Superman in this case. And, theoretically, I get the reason why you can't have Superman on a show called Supergirl all the time. I mean, I doubt Tyler Hoechlin is that expensive, to be honest with you, to keep on the CW payroll. He's not making Calista Flockhart money.
No, well, I'm sure we'll see both of them. Well, I'm sure we'll see Tyler Hoechlin again.
Well, the thing is, I think with their powers, you could just have Supergirl speed off to Metropolis at almost literally any time.
Right.
To go hang around Clark.
Yeah.
It's kind of like on The Flash, well, Barry, you could visit Star City like anytime you wanted.
Well, which they did in last week's episode.
I'm glad they did. I'm glad they did, because I feel like...
And we should point out right now, spoilers for everything.
Yes.
There are spoilers in this show for absolutely anything.
So used to spoiling, we almost forget to give a little warning at the beginning. So sorry.
Yeah.
But if you've listened to previous episodes, and we hope you did, we hope you're Supes On faithfuls, but you should know already.
Yeah.
But
just because we're talking about episode 2 of Supergirl doesn't mean we're not going to spoil season 6 of Lost. So,
and you know what? We will even spoil things that aren't related to TV, like Charlie Lachlan. That's not your real dad.
oh man, I could you. This is such a way to find out for him.
Such a it's bad news. Bad luck, Chuck. Bad luck.
So we did, as we talked about, we did find out today that Callista Flockhart and Tyler Hoechlin seem to be leaving the show.
One seems a little bit more permanent than the other, which is such a sad face moment for me.
For those of you who've listened, me and John both love Callista Flockhart. Kat is our favorite character on the show.
Yeah, she's killing it. Like every episode, Kat just brings it.
Yep.
And so Callista Flockhart leaves. And we just kind of assume CW can't afford to pay her, or she just is tired of it.
I don't know. Could be a combination.
We don't know.
It could be she doesn't want to have to go to Canada to film. She may not want to live in Vancouver.
Yeah, I mean, it's probably one of those things where, like, I'll do this for a season. Because we were discussing during the show, Callista Flockhart is probably the type that doesn't really need to work with all that Harrison Ford. Not that she doesn't make her own money.
I mean,
but
all the Ally McBeal money, all the Star Wars money her family has.
Yeah, she already had money, and then she introduced Harrison Ford to the picture.
Definitely wasn't having to work. She just liked the character of Kat, wanted to get into it and do it. But did she like it enough to move to Canada?
I doubt. Like, you're at it's like, here's a person that really doesn't need to work.
Right.
And like, do I really need to move to Canada?
Right. I'm just glad she came in for at least these couple episodes to do a proper goodbye.
Which is really awesome, because she could have been like Max Lord and be like, MIA, deuces.
Yep. Peace. Even, I mean, Max Lord left, and everyone forgot about Max Lord so much that Alex forgot she went out on a date with him.
Yeah, like Alex says, like, I've been taking care of Kara so much. You know how long it's been since I've been on a date? 2 years. I'm like, geez, way to friend zone Max.
To be fair, that was an undercover operation.
Not to Max.
That is also true. Not to Max.
I'm on Team Max here. I want to see him again. I want some explanation. Dang it. I just want, it's a good thing we don't have to worry about Max Lord anymore. And just kind of keep it at that.
After he helped save the city.
Yeah, I would rather say, well, it's good that Max Lord moved to Coast City.
You know what we could say? You know what we could assume is, like, after he helped Kara and them save the city at the end of last season, he realized, you know what? Supergirl's not a threat. I'm just going to go be a normal businessman and not interfere with alien affairs.
Yeah, anything. Or just, you know what? Have him appear on a different Earth and Flash, like, saves him or something. It's like, and like, Max is like, it's my girlfriend Alex Danvers around, and Flash is like, I don't know if I can help you with that. You know, it's funny when Alex was saying that I haven't been on a date in 2 years. I was really expecting Wynn to be like, are you asking me out?
You know, I think you missed part of the conversation there with Wynn and Alex, possibly.
Maybe.
But there was some really good things. I liked that it wasn't just like Kara's being selfish. It wasn't just like one-sided, where it was all like Kara wants to move to Metropolis,
right,
and so she's the bad person for wanting to abandon Alex. With Wynn pointing out, like, because Alex goes on and on about how all the stuff I've done for you, I've done this, I've done this, I've done this for you, and all this, and then Wynn pointing out, you know, and like he grew up in foster homes because his father was in prison, pointing out that in foster homes they always try to make you feel so grateful for everything that they've done for you that they treat it like a scorecard rather than being like family.
Yeah.
So I like that they kind of pointed out that both of them were kind of being a little selfish.
And in this episode, I'm really glad they tackled some issues like this. Like, Kara, she has Clark here, but Clark has to go back because his girlfriend, not wife, but his girlfriend, Lois Lane, is worried
Kat
about
still
him.
has a chance.
Kat still has a chance. I mean, they have a glorious close-up butt shot of Clark.
It wasn't a close-up, but it was a pretty well-framed shot.
It was, and that's the part I missed. I don't know if I'll have any sleep tonight because I missed the close-up of Tyler Hoechlin's butt. But anyways, that was like, here you go, Tyler Hoechlin fans.
Yeah.
And so this objectifying Cal.
Yeah, that's right.
But Anyway, so they do this thing where Superman comes, he's super cool, but it's like, gotta go back to my own city.
Right.
And then Kara's not really liking her new job that she picked.
Well,
Especially because...
Yeah, because she didn't earn it, like Snapper said.
I mean, Snapper Kara, a nice use of Snapper.
Yeah.
He comes in, and he's her new boss, and he has every right to be upset, because here comes this lady, this girl, who...
was the assistant to the CEO who's on her way out.
Yeah, she's on her way out. Yeah. And here comes Kara from this different department. Didn't really go to journalism school or anything like that. So, yeah, Snapper is understandably upset about this. So I'm kind of on Team Snapper here.
Yeah.
And I really hope, as I said, I tweeted this earlier, I really hope Snapper Kara's catchphrase is, "Oh, snap."
Oh, snap.
And he's on Snapchat.
Right.
That's what I would love. But I was kind of like, yeah, Snapper, you really should be upset, because why would you want this person to be all up in your business? But so Kara is understandably not liking her nude. It's not what she expected.
Right.
Right.
It's not that she's not liking it.
It's just.
Well, I mean, she isn't liking it.
Well, she
doesn't even know what it's like yet.
Yeah, she does, surely, but she's not giving it a chance.
Right.
Her cousin's leaving. Her cool cousin's leaving back home. She's like, I don't like my new job, and things are changing. I want to leave. I was so happy other people were like, you are such a quitter.
Yeah, grow up.
Grow up, Kara, Supergirl.
I think Kat said pull up your big girl pants.
Yeah, I was really happy we got both sides of this, and it was really necessary. And on the one hand, you could view that as Kara not looking cool on her own show, but at the same time,
it's realistic.
It's realistic, and the point of it is for her to grow.
Yeah.
And this is a challenge. Like, there would be no drama if, like, Superman's like, well, everything's awesome here. I'll leave. Visit me whenever you want. He kind of did that anyway, but...
Yeah. He just wanted to get back to Lois.
Yeah, he really did.
But I would just like to point out, we've already mentioned it now twice, this episode, and the show in general, does a really good job that whenever they bring up something, they don't just let a character get away with anything. They always have another character that brings up an equally valid point of view, it seems.
It's very responsible storytelling.
Yeah.
It makes it more realistic. You can be more easily immersed into the show.
For sure. And if you're like of the mindset of Kara, like, man, that does suck. Everything's changing. You have somebody to relate to. But if you're watching the show and you're like, come on, Kara, grow up, you have somebody to relate to.
Yeah, it works out so well. And I think this is a lot of good spotlight and showcases for other characters.
Yeah.
Specifically, not much Jimmy. Not much Jimmy.
Not this episode.
Not this episode, but he's got some big things to come, but
he's got some big shoes to fill too.
Some really big metallic shoes to fill.
Can he take on the role of Callista Flockhart? Like, can he really fill in that role of Kat? Or is Snapper going to take on the role of Kat? Or is it going to just be sort of split between the two of them?
I'm thinking it's going to be split between the two, but and like I said, we've done spoilers and stuff, and Jeremy, I don't even know if I'm sure you do.
I've seen the photos.
You've seen the pictures. Okay. So obviously, if you're a big enough fan, you're listening to a podcast about Supergirl, and we already said spoilers, then surely you know the official thing they already released anyway is that Jimmy will be the Guardian.
Yeah.
Which I think is just a breath of fresh air for Jimmy.
Yeah. And very in line with Jimmy from comics. Jimmy's always getting random powers and things.
Yeah. And besides, if you followed our Instagram at Supes On Podcast on Instagram, I decided to go through some of my favorite classic Jimmy powers. He was like a lizard person at one time.
Did you do the one where he turned into a tree?
No, I couldn't find that one, but it wasn't really necessarily powers. It was just
strange situations
that Jimmy found himself in.
I like all the one where there's like 3 comic book covers where it's Jimmy pretending to die to get Superman to reveal his secret identity.
Yeah, like third time's a charm, I guess. My favorite was when Jimmy posed as a Nazi and talked to Hitler for some reason. So I don't even know when that issue came out, but so yeah, Jimmy's gone through some different phases. So when cool Jimmy, when he announces at the end, I'm leaving, I was thinking, oh, he's like, I got hired by the DEO to be the Guardian. He's like, no, I'm the new Cat.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, okay. So you become the Guardian after this?
I guess so. We'll see.
Either way.
And he might, and who knows? They're trying to make it seem like he's going to be the Guardian. Maybe he's not. Maybe he's going to be dressed like that for literally an episode to throw something off.
Costume party at Kara's place.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I said, a breath of fresh air for Jimmy. Because cool Jimmy, he's no longer the love interest for Kara.
Or Lucy.
So Lucy and Max, I think, are dating. That's what I like to in my personal fan fiction.
Kara doesn't really have a love interest this season.
Not anymore. And I was really hoping when Kat was leaving, she's like, "Oh, Kara, you'll do well. But just so you know, I'm leaving because you didn't date my son."
Adam, who we'll never hear from again.
Jeez, he was on thin ice before, but now with Kat leaving...
Yeah, we'll never see him again.
I'm glad I wasn't too attached to Adam.
It's just like, don't get too attached to characters named Adam in Superman-related series.
They go away.
If you like Season 3 Smallville, Adam, you're disappointed if you're waiting for his glorious return.
Yeah, that's right. And, was it yesterday as a recording? Obviously, we're recording the air date of Supergirl Episode 2. Was it yesterday? Was the Smallville 15th anniversary?
Yesterday was Smallville's 15th anniversary.
Wow. Smallville turns 15, so therefore if it was a real person, it'd be played by a 26-year-old in the CW.
Except for in flashbacks, where they would be played by a 10-year-old.
So, and Supergirl owes a lot of its success to Smallville.
For sure.
I mean, we have a Superman now. We have Arrow. We have another Green Arrow.
Yeah.
So much of what we enjoy now, got to give big ups to Smallville. And Smallville, in turn, gives big ups to shows like Buffy and Angels and stuff like that. So.
And even Lois and Clark, The New Adventures of Superman.
Right. Even the Creek.
Yeah.
The Creek. Dawson's Creek forever, man.
Yep.
So, but in this episode, Supergirl, though, I was very happy to see Supergirl have a chance to grow and just have new opportunities. Like, at first, and it reminded me, it was very similar to me as like an audience member watching this show, how I'm sort of being resisting to change.
Yeah.
Like it's a new network, some new cast members.
Yeah.
Or maybe taking away cast members, more like it. And I'm thinking, well, I kind of like the way things were before, but then I realize after this episode is over that how boring would that be?
Right.
Because we said in the season 1 recap, which is available on supesonpodcast.com.
Yeah.
They went through so much in season 1, and it was awesome that they did.
Yeah.
So now it leaves us wide open for stuff like Cadmus and Metallos.
Which
plural.
Very interesting take on Cadmus is like a terrorist organization as opposed to like scientific researchers.
I guess that's cool because we already, even though it's not in the same universe, we kind of already have a Star Labs.
That's true.
Well, not the same Earth, I guess. Whatever.
Yeah.
So I don't mind Cadmus being evil. It's a different take.
Well, Cadmus is evil a lot, but they're normally evil. Like their evil is normally under a front of a legitimate business.
Yeah, this is just we're straight up evil.
Yeah,
not even trying to hide it.
And they kind of sort of set it up or inferred that Jeremiah Danvers, Dean Cain, may have turned evil.
I would not be surprised if he turns out he's the evil leader of Cadmus.
Yeah.
And he's building multiple Metallos to kill Superman. I don't know why he'd want to kill his daughter, but then again, he would be evil at this point. So.
I feel it must be some sort of brainwashing thing. We'll get the real Dean Cain back.
We'll get the real
one day.
Hopefully, the real Dean comes back to us.
Yes.
Because if we can't have Calista Flockhart, then damn it, we'll get Dean.
That's right.
Mr. Cain.
So going back a little bit, we talked about how in the flashbacks they use like little kids. Yes. And apparently Martian Manhunter also, that's his preferred take, when at the end Superman and Martian Manhunter teamed up to take on Metallo number 2. Martian Manhunter was hiding out pretending to be a little girl in a cape. Like, why go with that particular shape, do you think? Just to seem unassuming?
To see, well,
but at the same time, why is a little girl by herself at the middle of this like wrecked park?
Well, it seems odd that Martian Manhunter John Jones would decide I'm going to be a little white girl, and but the fact that she had a cape, she's like a Supergirl fan.
Yeah,
Not-
Superman fan. It was Metropolis.
Well, that's true.
Well, I guess it could be either way. You don't have to root for your local hero.
Well, she was in Krypton Park.
Yeah,
It's funny that they named it Krypton Park.
yeah.
But I feel like there should be like special tourist attractions like Visit Krypton and stuff like that. Or like in Kingdom Come Planet Krypton's like a restaurant there
Yeah.
or something. But I think the real reason we got the cover of the girl in the cape is so she kind of stood out. So when we get a call back, we remember her.
Remember seeing her playing in the park earlier.
And that, which is fun, but at the same time, it's like, well, that's neat, but we could have done with Martian Manhunter just showing up at the last second.
Like, couldn't he have been being like somebody who's cleaning up the park, like a?
Well, it's not just he could have been anybody. It's just the fact that he was there before and during this time. I guess that was because he didn't trust Clark or something.
Well, he wasn't there before. He wasn't there in the initial attack. The little girl we saw earlier that was a callback to, that was a real little girl.
Oh, okay. So in my mind, when I was watching that was always Martian Manhunter.
No.
Oh, so now it does seem. I mean, granted, I know the real reason, the TV reasons, because we would know who that was.
Right.
But it was just sort of a neat callback, but at the same time, I didn't think it was entirely necessary.
Yeah.
It was just a fun bit of TV, I guess.
I was going to say, but we did get to see, but in reality, I got to see, and so did probably a million or so other people got to see the Fortress of Solitude. This is while John stepped away briefly.
I saw a little bit.
We got to see the Fortress of Solitude, which looked really cool. We got to discover that John Johns has learned Krypton, and he had a really good line about we're the last two, we're the lone survivors of dead worlds. If we don't remember and honor each other's cultures, who will?
It was very cool. And we saw the Fortress before in season 1.
Yeah, we did.
We saw that robot.
Yeah.
Who I really wish was Skeets, but it wouldn't make any sense.
That is true. That would be awesome.
Don't know why it'd be Booster Girl's robot friend, but why not? Oh, it could have been like the Superman robot. Like it's just another Superman walking around, but it's Superman. I always loved it that Superman had robot duplicates of himself.
Especially in the old Superboys. In the old Superboys, he used those robots all the time.
And I'm wondering if the new Chinese Superman will make an appearance. He's pretty new, so if anything, I'd expect him in like a cartoon movie or something like that.
Yeah.
But I think it'd be very interesting in the show if they had like just part of Supergirl, like they have like a Chinese Superman or a Supergirl.
Well, maybe with the crossover traveling multiple Earths and stuff.
I think it'd just be a really neat thing to do. It's not like he needs an entire episode devoted to him.
Right.
I think you got him. But you know what? Baby steps here.
Yeah.
We got to crawl before we can walk here because the man in the pod we know who it is.
Yeah.
So I think when we have the actor who plays him, Chris Wood, I think his name is going on Twitter like who he is, I don't think it's too much of a spoiler anymore.
Well, we'll see.
We'll see, I guess.
Let's give it one more week before
we'll give it one more week. I think the Supes On faithful kind of knows, but whatever. There may not be people who know.
I think there's that one person out there who's listening who's like, yeah, I knew McCall Brooks was going to end up being the Guardian, but I have no clue who that person in the pod is.
So, okay, we'll spoil everything except that.
Yeah.
So there.
Unless you go to our website, because I believe it's in John's fabulous drawings, which you should go check out at supesonpodcast.com.
Yeah, and now we have I downloaded a new word bubble app so I don't have to write out the words. You can actually understand what they say.
Oh man.
Yeah, we're making an upgrade. We're sort of like in our own season 2.
That's right.
We're making upgrades here.
So let's talk about what it showed. Well, let's talk about the powers that were used in this episode.
Yes, and they were used for the most part pretty efficiently,
with one exception.
Well, yeah. So okay, let's go through them. We have flight, super speed, super strength.
Freeze breath.
Obviously, freeze breath. Just that was a special treat.
Yeah, heat vision.
Heat vision. We got a lot of heat vision.
Yeah.
Super hearing.
Super hearing. Yeah.
And vulnerability. I'm not sure if we said that one already.
Yeah, and vulnerability.
So, and all of these, for the most part, was especially when they stopped the fire. That was a very smart way.
Very efficient.
Yeah, that was very intelligent. Well, go ahead and describe.
So the inefficient use is when they go and stop these two robbers, and these two robbers pull guns. And this is something that's inefficient a lot in Superman stories. Rather than just using your super speed and strength to disarm them, letting them fire their guns letting the bullets ricochet where they may, with you don't know who's around, you don't know who's behind that window you're letting that bullet ricochet off of.
Yeah, and this is a lot of Superman and Supergirl sort of declaring themselves, a bit of showing off.
Yeah.
This is just we're super people. We're going to put our hands on our sides and this symbol of hope you're going to shoot at and stuff.
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, but the bullets are bouncing off everywhere.
Yeah.
Good grief. There's like a kid gets his glasses shot off, like a window shop gets shot up.
I just imagine some kid, his glasses get shot off. He's like, whew, that could have been much worse. Thank goodness it only shot my glasses off.
Thank goodness I only have shards of small glass inside my eyeball now.
And then, of course, we had the scene of shooting and then trying to punch him. I've never understood. Why do you always try to punch?
Which was, I thought that was a fun line.
For sure.
I thought it was a fun line.
It was part of the 3 minutes of fun. The hashtag too much fun.
I really wish the robber would be like, I never understood why, just use your super speed and
to disarm us before that old lady who's dying now over there wouldn't be dying if you would just use your super speed to disarm me first.
I gotta go back to Metropolis. Lois needs me. Your problem. Then he leaves up and away from you.
Everything else very, very, very efficient. I did like that we got to see sort of another power, but not from Superman or Supergirl. We got to see Wynn's costume designing skills.
I was so happy that Hank Henshaw was just like, hey, Wynn, you make the costumes.
That's your thing.
Because you should, real talk, Wynn, you should be in charge of the DEO since you do everything around here.
Hey, Wynn, I know how last week you were the IT guy at a media corporation. Not even head of IT.
No.
Just one of the IT guys.
You know what? Here is what I want to happen in episode 3 is James, and he's like the new boss. So like, okay, I need to set up my computer. I'll just call Wynn. Hey, wait, where's Wynn?
Where's Wynn?
Like, I don't know if he tell James that he left?
No, like there hasn't been any scene with that. I would also love for there to be a scene at the DEO where like something goes just horribly wrong and they're like, Wynn, what happened? And he's like, I am vastly underqualified for this. I was an IT guy.
Yeah. I don't know what I'm doing, guys. I can make a costume.
I mean, I'm glad y'all chose me for this because I do have some hacking skills that I got incredibly lucky with.
Like once or twice. It's a lot of faith in Wynn.
A lot of faith in Wynn, but I think it's well placed. I like Wynn.
Yeah, Wynn's very good. We got to see some decent Wynn action here.
Yeah.
Lots of Wynn wisdom, winning, if you will.
So every week we normally will talk about whether the episode was Supes On or Supes Off. So John, can you explain what that means?
Okay, so what Supes On means is, did it properly preserve the legacy of Superman and Supergirl and the Super family? Did it change your mind? Did you previously think Superman and Supergirl were boring? Did it encourage or further establish your beliefs that Superman and Supergirl are just too powerful and too boring? They're one-dimensional. So that would mean they're Supes Off. So given the choice of whether or not this is Supes On or Supes Off, I think I'm going to go with Supes On because it had a lot of back and forth. It was a lot of fun. Like we said earlier, any type of character flaw was properly pointed out and explained. And I think that flaw is what makes Supergirl not boring. Because if she was boring, she would be like, well, we easily dispatched any Cadmus Metallo people. All right, well, Clark, I'll see you later.
Right.
Yeah, she was like, I'm deeply conflicted and I'm afraid of change. Completely not boring. While it may be a step backwards that she's not like a strong, independent female warrior or something, it makes her a relatable, real person. That's what I think.
So I'm going to give our first ever Supes neutral.
Supes? Nah. Supes wavy hand?
Yeah. I thought the episode itself was amazing. I loved the episode. However, going on what we sort of use as our parameters for Supes On, Supes Off, I'm giving it a Supes neutral. I feel like if you thought that Supergirl is just a basically a slightly lesser Superman, you're walking away from this with that still intact. You have the scene at the beginning with them going around saving people, which is fun if you're a fan, but if you're not, it's just them showing off their easy powers. Then you have, oh, now Supergirl's a junior reporter trying to fit in, just like Clark. You do have some of the stuff, like you said, with the flaws and all that, which is true, but I don't know that it's enough to knock it into Supes On territory. But I don't think that it's like at any way enough to knock it into Supes Off. I feel like it's a Supes neutral.
Kind of just middle of the road type of deal.
I don't think it changed any opinions.
I think if anything, while I enjoyed it, and I tried not to be biased, but I can't help it. I'm a fan of this.
Yeah.
I think if I was being just very realistic and honest, yeah, if you already don't like Supergirl, you have her showing off her powers and being kind of be like a whiny crybaby.
It's almost like reinforcing. To me, you know what? I might even go as far as to say maybe it goes into Supes Off territory a little bit, just because it reinforces a lot of the general Supergirl stereotypes about how she's not really her own character, and it also even reinforced some like CW stereotypes where like all the characters are kind of whiny for no reason.
Yeah.
Even though it was an incredible episode, I'd give the episode like a 9 out of 10.
Yeah.
I don't know that it did anything to break the mold.
You see, all of those are valid points, and if you were to say full on Supes off, I couldn't really argue that. I think one of the reasons I'm giving it a Supes On is like, while all those points are valid and true, I'm just like, I'm doing some, I guess, more forward thinking than thinking that by the end of the season she's going to overcome all of this.
Right.
But if you were to isolate just this episode,
yeah,
I could see how you're just like,
So like, a change of pace for our listeners, whereas I'm being the slightly more cynical one, and John is being more fanboyish.
I'm definitely, if I'm a fan of Supergirl, I guess I'm fangirling almost.
You're fangirling, and I'm being cynical. This is such a change of pace. We've never had this before.
Wow. Well, I can definitely understand because, like, you watch this. Well, let's say you're trying to get your friend into this show.
Yeah.
And he or she is not really a big fan. They watch this episode, they'd be like, I don't know, man. Supergirl seems kind of lame. And
yeah.
Why don't we just have a Clark show? And really, be honest with you, when he got the call from Perry White, I'm like, just have a spinoff. We don't need Jane the Virgin, or maybe we do. I don't know, but I don't watch it. But in fact, I watched the most of that show I ever did while we were setting up this. Like, I could live without Frequency. I'm sure it's fine, but
I've heard. I want to catch up on that. I've heard good things about Frequency.
Maybe we'll do a Frequency. Maybe Frequency end up being amazing, and we'll just we'll forget all of this, do a Frequency podcast. But I'm like, just make a Superman show.
Yeah.
I want Superman and Supergirl, 2 solo shows.
We can have, CW still needs a superhero show on Friday.
Make it the Friday
Cap
show.
it off. Superman and Supergirl, Monday, Friday. Like bookends.
Just make us happy here at Supes On.
Yeah.
That would be Supes On in real life.
Do you have anything you'd like to say about any of our other, technically in the Supergirl universe, due to the crossover? Any other things you want to talk about?
Well, this is, of course, recording the night of Supergirl Season 2, Episode 2's premiere, so therefore the Flash premieres tomorrow night, as of this recording.
Well, it doesn't premiere.
Well, the episode
continues.
technically premieres, I guess.
True. Oh, and speaking of that, let's talk about last week. So the ratings last week, Supergirl was the second highest rated CW show. It came in second to Flash. It had, they estimate about 1.1 million people watching.
Yeah.
So that's pretty strong. Let's hope that this week we don't see any sort of a dip.
Yeah, and one thing, somebody on Twitter brought this up. With Superman, completely no Clark appearance, will numbers dip? Because, the CW was smart to have Clark there.
Right.
To win over a lot of viewers. Will they maintain and continue to have lots of viewers without the presence of Superman whatsoever?
I hope so.
I really hope so. I think CW fans are loyal.
Yeah.
I mean, Supernatural's it's in its 12th season.
Yeah.
Smallville lasted 10 years, so
yeah.
that Tarzan show didn't have as much luck, but
There was a Tarzan
there
show?
was a very short-lived Tarzan show. Maybe had like I don't know how many episodes, but I don't think the shows like the Vampire Diaries last as long, but they're still
About 5 years or so.
yeah, and that's really decent. That's on that for a television show to last 5 years. That's a win.
Yeah.
So CW fans are typically pretty loyal.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping Supergirl. It's hard to tell. The numbers will not lie.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Well, the numbers do lie because the numbers
yeah,
don't
you're right.
incorporate all the people watching it on the CW app or on, iTunes or all the other various streaming services.
Yeah, if the ratings are low for this week or next week, I hope there's no knee-jerk reaction by CW executives. And I would think the CW being such a hip network as it is, they would understand, especially with you're only able to stream their shows on their app now.
Yeah.
I think they would be hip to waiting to get the numbers for that,
For sure.
and DVR and stuff like that. And maybe it's the same story with The Flash, but The Flash, there's obviously a kind of a decline in quality.
There's been a dip in the numbers too.
Yeah, and the low ratings can't really blame you, and it's really sad because Flash is my favorite.
It's still the highest rated one, but it's
But
just a dip for its numbers.
And I hope the quality bumps up because everybody else is stepping up their game. Supergirl is awesome. Legends of Tomorrow was really fun.
Yeah.
Arrow, just like a
Killing it this
miraculous
season.
return. Like Arrow is just awesome so far. So I have no doubts that Supergirl Flash is the one I'm kind of worried about.
You know what? I can't wait for the I think before we have the big Force show crossover, I think we do have the Flash Supergirl crossover.
Oh, the musical episode.
Yeah, which has got to be with the Pied Piper.
Yeah, I would think there's a reason they're singing. It's sort of like on Buffy, there was like the demon that cursed them to sing or whatever.
Sweet.
Maybe it's a Pied Piper, or they just decide to have an unexplained musical on Supergirl.
Yeah, I feel like it's going to be a Pied Piper thing.
I don't know who else it would be. So, I don't know. We shall see.
Let us know who you think it's going to be at soupsonpodcast@gmail.com.
Yeah, we welcome all your emails for questions, comments, feedback, corrections of whatever errors we may have had. You can follow us on Twitter at Supes On Podcasts. Same at Supes On Podcasts on Instagram. We actually are on Tumblr. We do Tumblr things. What you're going to find out on Tumblr is just whatever we have put out on Instagram. Because
I forgot we even had Tumblr.
yeah, we do. That's the one I know we have. We got some people.
Yeah.
There's like one or two that I know of.
If you follow us on Tumblr, tumble us?
Tumble. Hey, you can tumble me. Soups on. Super Troopers. I don't know what we've decided to call you.
All right, so next week, it looks like on the next week on, it looks like we're going to have some supervillain teaming up, several aliens.
Some nice alien action.
Yeah.
Man in the Pod action.
Man in the Pod action.
Be very fitting. We do a podcast about the Man in the Pod.
That's right. So join us next week. Got any final thoughts?
Final thoughts. I think Kara's going to pull through. We'll see if she gets back on. The Soup's on.
All right. Well, join us next week for episode 3 of season 2 of Supergirl. Thanks.